Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? It's not a great day. Internet trying to mess with me there a little bit, but yes, it's a beautiful day here. I can stand outside and enjoy this weather. We should get some rain today after a while. So the place is nice and a little cool, just early 80s, so I can enjoy the outdoors today. But yes, we get some much needed rain today. We were very dry over the last 2 months, not much rain at all. But anyhow, hope you guys getting great weather wherever you are. But today I can get into it quickly. Today what I want to talk about, when God speaks, if he tell you yes is yes, if he tell you no, it means no. Whatever he say, he don't change his mind. Man might more change the mind on something. You might ask if someone for something, they might tell you no right now, and then they might change their mind and say, okay, for the thought, I'll do it, or you can have it, or whatever the case may be. But when God said no, it means no. When he say yes, it means yes, right? And you don't want to go ahead and still continue to pray for the thing that he already gave you a clear answer on, right? Because remember remember the scripture here, right? Proverbs 14:12, that said there appears right, but in the end it leads to death, right? So you don't want to go off your own. He give you a clear answer. You want to listen to it and obey it, whether it's yes or whether it's no. Let's look at two cases here in the Bible where he said no and he meant no, and people still trying to go back to him and see if he can change his mind, right, about his answer. Okay, so first we can take from Deuteronomy 3:23 through 27. Deuteronomy 3:23 through 27. We can look at that. This is when Moses is commissioning Joshua to go for the promised land, right? God had already tell him no, he can't go. Remember when God tell him speak to the rock, when the Israelites was complaining but for water, and God tell him speak to the rock and they can get the water. But but he was, good morning, Jillian, good morning. But Moses was so upset with these people. He had so much of them over all the years. He go and strike the rock with his staff instead of speaking to the rock as God instructed him. And God said, hey, buddy, okay, that's it. You ain't going to the promised land. You're not going to the promised land. That's the last straw. You're not going to the promised land, right? So God already told him he's not going to the promised land. You can see it, but he's not going to set foot on the promised land. So I pick it up from there to Deuteronomy 3:23 through 27, right? So he'd be talking to Joshua, getting Joshua ready for it. So he tried to make a last plea to God here now to see if he can still get to set foot on the land, right? So this is Deuteronomy 3:23, going to start from. So at that time I pleaded with the Lord and said, O sovereign Lord, you have only begun to show your greatness and the strength of your hand to me, your servant. Is there any God in heaven or on earth who can perform such great and mighty deeds as you do? You're trying to sweet talk God here, right? You're going to get something from somebody, you're giving them praises, you're trying to sweet talk them, right? He said, please let me cross the Jordan to see the wonderful land on the other side, the beautiful hill country and Lebanon mountains. But here God respond. But the Lord was angry with me because of you. He's telling the people, right? The Lord was angry with me because of you, and he would not listen to me. Here will God respond. Remember God angry, he said, that's enough, he declared. This is what God tell Moses. That's enough. Speak of it no more. Like, I don't want to hear more about this, Moses. I already told you this. Tells me probably Moses is going to him often, praying to him every day, or, asking him, my God, oh, you could do this to me. Please, could you just let me go to the promised land? So God was mad, right? God was mad. He said, that's enough, he declared. Speak of it no more. But go up to Pisgah Peak and look over the land in every direction. Take a good look, but you may not cross the Jordan. So God said, take a good look. I already told you, no, I'm not changing my mind. I'm not changing my mind. So I'm saying, if God already give you an answer to a particular thing that you asked him for, stop praying about it. Stop asking him to change his mind, because he's not going to change his mind. He's not going to change his mind. God, everything he spoke is law. He's not going to change his mind. Beverly Gomes, good morning, right? So if he gives you an answer to something, Don't go to him praying about it anymore. He give you the answer, you take the answer for what he said, right? So that's the case with Moses, right? Let's look at another case here, and then we can, have some discussions about it. Let's look at another case here where God gives somebody an answer and they go back to him and see how we handle this. But this was a law God had to protect here, so he handled this a little differently, right? This is Numbers 22, 7 through 20. Numbers 22, 7 through 20. This is the story of Balak and Balaam, right? Balak and Balaam, this is a backdrop of this story. Balak was the king of Moab, and when the Israelites, he saw when all the the nations, we just destroy these nations, these big powerful nations, Bashan and them, and he gets scared. He said, man, these people can come for me next and destroy me, and I cannot beat these people. I cannot beat these people. These people really backed by the God, and I cannot beat them. So the only way I could beat them is to beat them spiritually, get the victory spiritually first. And this is proving that what we're saying, that stuff happens spiritually first before it manifests in this world, right? So he said, if I could get defeat them spiritually, then I could get that victory over them physically. So he sent for this guy, Balaam, who could put curses on people, right? Who could put curses on people. So he sent for Balaam. So this is, I'm picking it up from there when he sent for Balaam, right? It's Numbers 22, 7 through 20. It said, Balak's messengers, who were elders of Moab and Midian, set out with money to pay Balaam to place a curse upon Israel. So they come with this money and saying, okay, we got this money, we want to pay you. Come and put a curse on these people for us. They went to Balaam and delivered Balak's message to him. Stay here. This is how Balaam, the prophet, responded to them. He said, stay here overnight, Balaam said. In the morning, I will tell you what the Lord directs me to say. So the officials from Moab stayed there with Balaam. So Balaam said, hey, you know what? Let me go to God and see what God said. Just like us, we praying about something, we taking it to God, right? So he said, let me go and see what God said about this situation, right? So that night, God came to Balaam and asked him, who are these men visiting you? God, remember, God don't see everything. God said, who's these men, bro? Who's these men you got come to visit you? What they about? Right, so here we said, Balaam said to God, Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, had sent this message. He said, look, a vast horde of people have arrived from Egypt, and they cover the face of the earth. Come and curse these people for me. Then perhaps I will be able to stand up to them and drive them from the land, right? So a curse, he get a victory spiritually for them, and then he can beat them physically, guys, right? So when you understand, that's what people do a lot. And that's why we need to be covered. That's why we need to understand these laws. Because people do that. When you hear about voodoo and obeah and iniquity and white magic, black magic, all this stuff, that's what people doing. They curse you spiritually, whatever the curse is, the spell of it, and then they could take advantage of you physically, right? It all starts in the spiritual realm, right? So he took it to God and he tell God what's going on where these men come. But here how God respond. But God told Balaam, do not go with them. You are not to curse these people, for they have been blessed. He said, do not curse them. Don't go with these men. Don't go with these men and curse these people. That's my people and they are being blessed. So the next morning, Balak got up and told Balaam, Balaam got up and told Balak officials, go on home. The Lord would not let me go with you. You're telling me I'll go your way. God said I shouldn't go with you. I need to listen to God. Y'all go on. But here what happened here now. So the Moabite official returned to King Balak and reported, Balaam refused to come with us. Then Balak tried again. Balak ain't giving up. Balak ain't giving up. He said, no, I gotta find a way to get a victory over these people. I can't do it physically. I can't do it off my own with my army. So then Balak tried again. This time he sent a larger number of more distinguished officials than those he had sent the first time. They went to Balak and delivered this message to him. This is what Balak, son of Zippor, says. Please do not let anything stop you from coming to help me. I will pay you very well and do whatever you tell me. Just come and curse these people for me. So again, guys, and that's the next thing, right? God tell him no, but Balak up the money. Balak come with a lot more money now and said, man, look, I got more money here, bro. I could give you whatever. Just name your price. I'm the king. Don't let nothing stop you, man. Come on and curse these people, right? So that's what happened. People are going to come and tempt us with money. People are going to come and tempt us with all kind of things. When God tell us not to do something, they're going to come. The enemy is going to come and he can tempt you with all kind of stuff. He can tempt you in all kind of ways. Money is one of the simplest ways to come. Okay, you tell them not to do something, and then the price, like what the movie proved. What the movie called Indecent Proposal, for the folks my age who watched the movie way back when. The guy was trying to prove everyone has a price. Everyone has a price. When he may tell the guy you can give him $1 million to sleep with his wife, the husband or wife, like that was crazy before then to talk it over, and it sounds good, and then it destroyed the whole marriage after they both agreed to it, right? So this will happen here. More money come to the preacher, and let's see how Balaam handled this now when he get this temptation with more money. But Balaam responded to Balak's messenger, even if Balak were to give me his palace filled with silver and gold, I would be powerless to do anything against the will of the Lord my God. So he right now saying, bro, it don't matter how much money you give me. Don't matter how much money you give me. If God said don't do this, I can't do it. I ain't going to be successful. But here how he responded. He said, you know this. He said, don't matter if you give me half of your palace of silver and gold, I would be powerless to do anything against the will of the Lord my God. So he's aware, don't matter how much money you guys offer me, I'm going to be powerless. If God said don't do this, I can't do it. But, right? Here we responded again. But stay here one more night, and I will see if the Lord has anything else to say, right? So you're going back to God now. This money tempt him. If God tell you no, don't go back to him. He don't give you an answer, whether it's no or yes. He do not change his mind like man do, right? So you tell them, I know, bro, I'm powerless if God said don't go. But let me go back to him. Maybe he change his mind when he see this amount of money I supposed to receive now, man. Maybe these guys offer me a lot. Let me go back to him and see what he says, man. He might change his mind. After all, it's a lot of money I left on the table there, right? Let me go back and see what he says. So he tell the men, stay here one more night. Let me go back and see if the Lord has anything else to say. That night, God came to Balaam and told him, since these men have come for you, get up and go with them, but do only what I tell you to do. Now, I can't go on and read the whole rest. I can just give you a thing. God said, okay, fine. Them men come back and bring more money. You come back to me. I know in your heart you really want to do this because I don't tell you what to do. And you come back to me. God, these men bring more money to you. Right? So here what we going to do, buddy. Since I don't give you free will, I can't stop you from going, but here what I'm going to do. You go, but you going to say exactly what I want you to say. So it's just like the trip is a wasted trip. That God said you can't curse these people because see, God had a law here to protect. This is a law, and we should take comfort in this law. This is Proverbs 26:2. It says, like a fluttering sparrow or a darting swallow, an undeserved curse does not come to rest. So this scripture here was explaining like a sparrow, a swallow. A swallow is a bird that flies in the sky, and when he see any food on the ground, he just zoop down and get the food, and he gone back up in the air. So they're comparing a curse to this swallow. It said, undeserved curse does not come to rest. So the meaning, if the bird don't see any food, anything look like food on the ground that he could benefit from, he's not coming down to the ground. He can stay up in the air just looking. So that's what they're saying the curse is like. So if you don't have that sin in your life, or you're not repenting of the sin that you committed, the curse cannot come on you. No one could put a curse on you. So that's what it's saying. So that's what God was saying. At this time here, Israel didn't have no sin, so you cannot go and curse them. He said, these people are blessed. You can't curse. Who, the song with Bob Marley saying, who job blessed, no one curse. He's saying, I bless them right now because they're doing right. They're repenting of the sin. You cannot go and curse them. No one can curse them. No curse can get to them. So if you want to make the trip, you're wasting your time. But since you want to go, you come back to me, I can tell you to go, but you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do. But long story short, he went on this trip, and this is a story. Follow this about the talking donkey. That's when he was going to Moab, and this donkey, you remember the donkey that he was riding, it keep turning away and trying to turn back, and he keep beating the donkey, beating the donkey, beating the donkey. And the third time, when the donkey just stopped and sit down, and he whapped the donkey really bad, and the donkey started to talk. God gave the ability to the donkey to talk, and the donkey said, man, why you beating me, man? He said, because you're making a fool out of me. The donkey said, man, I'm not the same donkey that you riding since I know myself. Have I ever done such a thing? He said, no, but if I would have had a sword in my hand, I would have killed you right now. And then God opened his eyes, and he see this angel in front of there with a sword in his hands. And the angel tell him, bro, this donkey saved your life. Because why God do that? It's a little confusing, right? God tell him to go, and then God trying to stop him. That didn't make sense because God seen his heart. God see he was so anxious to go. He seen his heart that he going to still go there and try to do what he want to do. And now what God, not the agreement that you make, what God tell him, you can only do what I tell you to do. God seen his heart, that he's so anxious to go. So God said, okay, I got to show this man what can be his future if he only go there and break the promise he make with me. Let me show him. So God show him with the sword and tell him this donkey saved your life. Then he repented and he said he was wrong, and the angel reminded him again, look, you're going there, but only what I tell you to say. Only what I tell you to say. So God just show him who got the power, bro. Who got the power? I was stopping a donkey, and I give the donkey ability to talk. Don't test me. Don't test me. Don't test me. So if you go there and do anything that I didn't tell you, there's going to be some problems. There's going to be some problems, right? So long story short, that's what happened. But so he go there and he do exactly what God tell him to do, because he couldn't curse the people because they had no sin. We ain't gonna get into that aspect of it. But I'm telling you, so if you pray into God and God give you an answer on something, don't go back to him for it. You can change your prayer. You might pray into God to give you this job. You might pray into him to give you this job, and you go and you know, this job is not for you. You might tell you this job is not for you. And then you still go through the interview and get it. And somebody else got the job. Don't go back praying to God to get the job. God, could you still give me the position, get the person out of the way? Because now you asking God to remove somebody from there to get you the position, or people praying to be back with the exes and all of that, and the ex already married, and God say, man, the Bible don't give you an answer on that. Move on. Move on. Don't come back to me praying about that, because you want me now to go and break up a union for you to have this person, right? So I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. Or sometimes he talked to you clearly, like about a couple of weeks back, I was praying to him for something, a certain business I didn't want to do, and that was like Thursday or so. He said, okay, go on a 2-day fast, and you can hear from me on Monday. I was like, okay, good. I went on a 2-day fast, and I directly what he said. You can heard from me from Monday. The people called and said, nope, we can't do this business. I was like, okay. In that case, the answer was no. I'm not going back praying to him about that again. I got to change my prayer now. You know, open the next door. You close that door, open another door for me. I'm learning through all this stuff that I'm trying to share. I'm learning, right? I'm not going back to him for the same prayer. He told me he's going to answer me on Monday. I got my answer. The answer was no to that particular stuff what I was praying to, right? But I got to believe he led me on a fast, and if he closed the door, you're going to open the next door, right? So if you be careful about those prayers and he give you an answer. If he tell you yes to do something, like the case of Moses, right? When he tell Moses, hey, we going on to escape these people, Moses tried to make a lot of excuses. Oh, I can't speak. I'll give your brother Aaron. So when he say yes, like when he sent with Jonah, right? When he sent Jonah to go and deliver the message, and Jonah tried to go wrong, that's how he end up in the fish belly, right? So when he said no is no, when he said yes to something, he means it, right? So I just want to give people that, share that. If he put something in your heart to do, hey, he's not going to change his mind and say, all right, no, don't do it no more. If you're going to do that off your own will, I remember Proverbs 14:12, there's a way that appears right, but it leads to death. So you're going to be causing yourself some problem if you go against his will, so to speak. If you go against his will, you open yourself to all kind of problems, right? So if you're praying and he tells you no about something, don't continue to go back to him with the same thing when he already answered you, because he might allow you. He can't stop you, right? He gave us free will. He cannot stop us from doing nothing. Understand that, guys. Understand that. Not that he cannot. He will not, because he gave us the free will. That's why people could do all the craziness they're doing. You think if his law was not it and he didn't respect his own law, you think he'd allow mankind to do some of the crazy, wicked stuff that we're doing? You understand? So he will not. It's your will, but there's consequences. That's all. There's consequences. You got your free will. Make what decision you want to make, but there's consequences. So I can close it off right here. Well, remember, if he answer you, take that answer. He ain't gonna change his mind. Don't go back to him like because you get tempt with money, you get tempt with a promotion. Someone tempt you that they're gonna do this for you, if you do something that God already tell you not to do, right? Don't fall for the temptation, because that's what the enemy is gonna do. He's gonna keep up in the stakes. Like I see some people, one time a guy was telling me, this guy was working at a particular customs in a country, and they want to bring into this country expired stuff that just had about a week expiry date on it. And the man said, no, I can't do that, because by the time these goods come into the country, by the time we get everything clear and it reaches the shelves, they can already be expired. The guy said, I can't do that. Then the man come back and said, what's your price? And he just threw out an astronomical number to turn the man. No, okay, give me $20 million. The man said, okay, done. $20 million. And he accepted that to do something that was immoral, right? That was wrong, right? So they say everyone got a price, but don't let that price is what God said to do. Whether he say yes or no, and you do that. And don't be tempted by anything else. All right, guys, so I'm going to leave that there. Have a great, great day, and we'll talk again on Monday. Goodbye.